Alright, I'm going to do a video on the kayak setup. I'm just going to start right off from front to back. Show you how I got the trolling motor put on and everything. Tackle storage. I don't have any rods out here, but I'll tell you what I do with my rods. That's got to go. It's motorized. I got to register it now, so I'll just start off from front to back. And here we got some Googan baits. 2 extra tackle boxes with big swim baits in them. We got the stand-up strap. Alright, so I'll get into the trolling motor now, actually. So, I used some pliers to pull the locking mechanism out of here so it slides freely. I sprayed some WD-40 down in there. I ran these wires through that tube right there. It actually is not a solid tube all the way through to the back. It looks like it is, but it's not. So what I did is I ran them through. I pulled these out. I drilled these little holes and ran it through there. I used a little magnet to grab it. It's like a 10-foot long, I think. You can buy it and trim it down. I've got it clipped to the arms on the trolling motor. Pretty easy thing to do. Got some tape coming loose there. PVC, and then just electrical tape, and then conduit is what that stuff's called. That stuff runs all the way back underneath the seat to the pulse width modulator. Alright, so all that stuff runs back to the trolling motor. We got the pulse width modulator. This one actually just blew up on me, so I ordered a new one. It's not completely destroyed. It still makes the motor work, but this literally has no effect at all. I think it was a fuse in there that blew up. This was literally $8. They actually stopped selling it from that manufacturer, so now it's like $40, and it's a little bit bigger, I think. So I got the new one on the way, but I just ran a bunch of electrical tape to the wires that all go in the side. There's battery cables and then the 2 motor cables. You only need the positive and negative of the motor cables. The other 2 just stuff back down in the shaft. I actually see a piece of the locking mechanism if I can reach it. Alright, so I had a guy asking me about the locking mechanism. This just sits in there and you have to pry up against this piece. I actually don't even think I'll be able to get back in there, to be honest. But you just go up in this hole right here, flathead screwdriver, and pry it out toward the center of the boat. And it will break right there. It's completely normal. Locking mechanism is out. And you're good to go. Seat has 2 positions, pretty nice. Paddle holder there. But you guys want to see the trolling motor and all that. We'll get back to that. So, it's not plugged in. I'll plug it in. No, actually, I'm not going to worry about it right now because I don't want to screw anything up. Because until a new one comes in, then I'll make another video. But the wiring runs underneath the seat. Underneath all this. Back to over here. Just comes around. Right up to there. Pretty solid. A lot of people ask about how I mounted this. I took 2 L brackets and a 2x4. Super easy, not hard at all. Just make sure it's level, good to go. What I'm actually going to do is I might, depending on how well this performs, I might heat it up here and bend this down and screw in down here as well so it has extra support. So far it's been doing good. That's a little loose, but so far it's been doing all right. You might have trouble finding these. You just gotta buy 2 sets of these PVC hangers, I think they were called. That's just because one comes with the threads and then it doesn't have the hole on both ends. So you have to buy 2 and then use the 2. This did not fit the shaft very well, so I put these in and I adjusted them to where these are tight. Sometimes they come loose, but they're still good. And then it's just mounted on there, really easy. All right, let's move on to how I lift this. Actually, wasn't hard to think of at all. I took a piece of paracord and I tied a knot around it, zip tied it up along the shaft. It's a little loose right now because it's not under pressure. That cord runs through this pulley here, and when that pulley is pulled, it pulls it up. It is hard to do. You have to use probably both hands for some people. Some people it could be really easy. I don't know. No problems. Make sure that's tight in that same way. So I just use that cable, use these connectors, ran it down through these eyelets. I put 3, I believe. 1, 2. Actually, I only put 2. It runs into the inside of the kayak and runs out right along here to the pedal. So that's about it. I put a locking cleat on there so that it doesn't, so it can pull forward, but it locks down. It can't pull back unless you pull it out. That was because I was pulling up. Then you just pull forward and up. Super easy. And what I got on the end of that is just this loop on the end, and that loop will go down under here or something, just out of the way. Kept the deck super clean. It's dirty right now, but I mean clear. Then I took my backpack and I just put the straps through the framing behind the seat. Doesn't really mess with you when you're sitting back on it. Milk crate battery. Alligator clamps, real easy. Sometimes people will tend to overthink this. It's really easy, guys. It's not too hard. So these are the holes I was talking about. If you feed it through this, it's just going to go down into the actual bottom of the kayak. That just goes straight to the bottom. So you will have to drill these out. Don't drill these back ones out. Only drill the front ones, unless you're going to cut a hole here. I saw another video of a guy named Bob. He put a 6-inch dry storage hatch there. I didn't do that because I was afraid that water would leak through this. If water came in, it would leak through that and go down to the bottom. I just don't want to put that big of a hole in it and risk leaking. So there you go. Get some pictures of this for some people. All right, we're good to go.